Hi there. Welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. For today's Pilates conditioning class, we are focusing on the core, with the majority of our time spent in a supine position playing low on the mat today. As working to the core intensifies, I'd like you to focus on holding good form for as long as you can. Don't worry about the repetitions, focus on your form. Rest as frequently as you need to, even pausing the stream should you need it. You ready to play? Let's hit the mat. Ease your way down into a supine position. Maybe sitting first, bending the knees, connecting the soles of your feet to the mat, and then ease your way down onto the back as if you were coming into a bridge line. Begin in a neutral spine position with a little bit of space between your lower back and your mat. We're going to begin with a pelvic tilt. Arms are long and lengthened at your side and your chin is nodded softly towards your chest. From your neutral spine position, take a big breath in and on an exhale, tilt your pelvis towards the 12 o'clock position so that your lower back imprints into the mat. Hold that core contraction and then float softly back to neutral. Every time you tilt to the 12 o'clock position, I want you to pull up from the pubis, tuck down from the sternum, and pull in from the side so that your whole belly is engaged. Hold that contraction for a few seconds and then release back to neutral spine. Use your breath. Find a steady rhythm of your own, looking mindfully for that contraction through the core and making sure that you're keeping your head connected to the mat with your chin and your neckline and your jawline as soft and relaxed as possible. You're going to give me 2 more of these pelvic tilts, and then we'll use the pelvic tilt to come up into a bridge articulation. As you complete your last tilt, begin once more in the neutral spine position. Tilt back to the 12 o'clock position, but keep articulating up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, disconnecting your bum from the mat, coming up nice and high with control, keeping that contraction in the core, and then pausing at the apex of your bridge and stretching into the belly area, keeping your hips level on both sides. Glutes are activated, quads and hamstrings are working as well. Then soften through the legs. Keep that contraction through the core as you peel down with control, rounding and releasing your lower back so that contraction is still tight. And then when you release back to neutral, you let go of that contraction. Let's rinse and repeat. Tilt to the 12 o'clock position, peel up with control. Feel that contraction pulling up and down, converging in towards your belly button as you peel up with control. Stretch into the lower belly area. And then as you come down, try to keep that contraction in your core as you reconnect one vertebra at a time, scooping, almost rounding out and releasing, and then coming back to neutral. Scoop, tilt to the 12 o'clock position, peel up, keeping that contraction tight. Pause at the apex of your bridge. Come down with control, keeping that contraction. Rounding your lower back, pausing before you tilt back to the neutral position and release. Let's take it into a set of 100s, and we'll keep the first one with the feet on the floor. Tilt your pelvis to the 12 o'clock position, scoop to peel up off the shoulders, hovering your arms just off the mat, and then vigorously beat the arms up and down as you inhale for a count of 5 and exhale for a count of 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your rhythm going. Make sure that you're hinging from the shoulder joint, keeping your arm long and lengthened and not Mexican waving through the hand. 2 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly peel your way back down to the mat and find your neutral spine position. Float your legs up into the tabletop position. Don't pull the knees in too close to your chest. Keep your knees tracking over your hips. We're going to take it into some gentle toe taps. Keeping that 90-degree behind your knee, you're going to reach with your toe for the mat. Don't drop the feet just here by your bum or you won't feel much happening. Hinge from the hip so that you can feel quite a bit of work into the lower ab area as you reach with your toe, not your heel, for the edge of the mat. You're either going to stay here with your single toe taps or you're going to work a little dead bug progression. You're going to float one arm overhead and then push knee to hand on the other side. Feeling a little bit of more work through the abs. Make sure that you're not hugging the knee with your hand. I want you to push the knee away with your palm and at the same time keep resisting with your knee. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Come back to your start position, arms long and length at your side. You're going to double up on the legs, dropping both toes together down the center line and back. If you find that coming all the way down to the mat puts too much tension on your lower back, you can give me a halfway drop and then bring the knees back to 90. So either halfway and back or all the way down to the mat and back. If you need to, you can tuck a little hand towel underneath your neck, and you could even tuck a hand towel or your hands underneath your bottom for some additional support for your lower back if you need it. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. You're going to take both toes together and tap just off center to the left and back, just off center to the right and back. So now you should be feeling a little bit of oblique work, a slight tug from your rib cage towards the hip bone on each side as you alternate, dropping the toes just off the center line. Keep your neckline soft. Don't tense through the neck or the jaw. Give me 4, 3, 2, last one. As you complete your last one, we're coming back into the 100s, this time from a tabletop. If you prefer, you can repeat your foot position from round 1. Pick your poison, scoop to peel up, and begin your 100s. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Slowly peel back down to the mat, giving yourself a little time out. And then when you're ready, arms either long and lengthened at your side or hands tucked underneath the bottom in a soft diamond frame for support if you need it. You're going to float the legs softly up towards the 90 position. You're going to slowly, in a crisscross scissoring fashion, crisscross the legs one in front of the other. Slow and controlled, focusing on squeezing the inner thighs together, using your lower abs at the same time to drive that leg movement. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. You're going to work briskly, scissoring one in front of the other. Give me 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, last one. Come back to your start position. Toe line is nice and soft. You're going to open up into a V frame and squeeze back to the start. Slow and controlled. Don't rush the movement. Opening the legs as wide as you can before drawing along the inner thighs and the abs to bring the legs back to the center line. Let's do 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. You're going to work a brisk open and close, opening and tapping the toes together. 8, 6, 4, 2. You're going to end wide, scoop to peel up, holding along the inner thighs and hold that stretch. You've imprinted your lower back and rib cage. Your weight is off the shoulders with about 2 fingers of air between the chin and the chest, and your belly is hollowed out and contracted. Peel back to your start position. And then use that crisscross pattern to float the legs down as far as you can towards the floor. And then peel back up to your start position. Slow and controlled. At any time, if you need a rest, come into your bridge setup, connect your feet to the mat, and relax your spine in neutral. Hands are either long and lengthened at your side or tucked underneath your bottom if you need it. Make sure that you keep your chin and your neckline nice and soft, and that you're not rushing through the movement as you crisscross up. If you are feeling the lower back, I would suggest making your movement smaller, maybe starting at the 90 line, only going down as far as 75 before peeling back up to your start position. So let your core and your back be your guideline as to how far to take the leg movement. Let's do one more set. Keep your core braced. Take a time out, bend the knees, connect the soles of the feet. We're coming back into our 100. Pick your leg position, either feet on the floor, legs in table, or legs softly extended out in a parallel line at about 75. Scoop to peel up, weight off the shoulders, begin your 100. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your lower back scooped and imprinted. 2 fingers of air between the chin and the chest with the weight off the shoulders. Last 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knees, connect the soles of your feet to the mat, and take a little time out. We're going to begin playing with a little scissoring action on the right, and you can either keep your head on the mat, arms at your side, or if you want to work a little bit more, you can scoop and peel your weight off the shoulders, hands hovering off the mat. Float your legs up to 90, and then begin scissoring action, bringing one leg in towards your head as you drop the other one away from you, either low to the floor or working with a narrower angle. If you're feeling the lower back, you could tuck the hands underneath your bottom for support if you need to, and keep your head connected to the mat if you're feeling the neck. Then brisk it up, bringing one leg in at a time and maybe holding onto the leg as it comes in. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Peel back down to the mat, arms at your side, or tuck the hands behind your head in a surrender-like fashion. Scoop to peel up, float your legs to 90. Keep your left leg locked in position and lift and lower the right leg only. If this is too much for you, head on the mat, hands tucked underneath the bottom as you lift and lower. If you need some support, you can bend the supportive leg as you lift and lower the other leg. Pick your position, feel that control through the core. Hold or work the next progression by floating the hands into Jupiter Mudra, interlacing the fingers together and crossing the thumbs and reaching through your legs, or rather the inner thighs, as you keep lifting and lowering on the one side only. Give me 4, 3, 2. You're going to bring it straight into a double scissoring action, pulsing both legs 2 times, bringing one leg in towards your head as you float the other leg off the mat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bend the knees, hug them in towards your chest, cradle rock the lower back out. Bend your left leg and extend the right leg up to the ceiling. You can either keep the supportive leg bent, or as you get going, you can extend the leg long and lengthened on the mat. You're going to start tracing a big circular pattern on the right, making that circle as big as you can, inhaling for half of your circle and exhaling for the other. Use your abs and use your inner thighs and your quads by drawing up from the kneecap to make that movement happen. Shooting for roughly 10 big circular traces in one direction and then change it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. You're going to find your way back into a bridge setup, bending your knees and connecting the soles of your feet to the mat. Begin in neutral spine. Tilt your pelvis to the 12 o'clock position. Find that contraction through the core. Keep it. Scoop to peel up. Intensify that core connection. And then you're going to give me a little oblique reach, reaching just off the center line with your fingertips, as if you wanted to tap past your ankle line on each side. Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Float softly back down to the mat. Give yourself a timeout if you need it. We're going to come back to that single leg scissoring action, and we'll play on the left side this time. Scoop to peel up, weight off the shoulders, arms hovering off the mat as you begin scissoring the legs. If this feels good, you can reach for one leg, holding anywhere along the back chain of the leg that you can reach to, or you could tuck the hands behind the head in a surrender-like fashion. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Last one. Drop back down to the mat. Tuck the hands behind your head in a surrender-like fashion. Float the legs up to 90, scoop to pillow, and drop the left leg up and down while you anchor through the right. That right leg is either facing towards the ceiling, or you can bend that supportive leg as you lift and lower. If you find that holding the scoop position is too much for you, you can drop the arms at your side, head connected to the mat. Pick your poison, but commit. This feels good. Work the next progression, floating your Jupiter hands long and lengthened through the inner thighs, almost as if you were trying to pierce the wall in front of you with your index fingers while you hold that scoop position. Your core should be quivering and speaking to you in tongues. 3, 2, last one. We're going to work a double scissoring action, pulsing the legs twice as you scissor them out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Ease your way back to your bridge setup. Give yourself a mini timeout. And then float your left leg up to the ceiling, either keeping your supported leg bent or extending as you start tracing that big circular pattern, shooting for 10 repetitions or as close to 10 as you can get. Inhaling for half, exhaling for the other half. Slow and controlled. Try to make your circles as concentric as you can manage. Use your breath to slow the movement down and control it. Don't rush through your repetitions. Once you've traced 10 big circles in one direction, you're going to change it up. 9, 8, 7, keep that contraction in your core. 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2, then we're going to find our way back into a bridge setup. Bend your knees, connect the soles of the feet. Begin in neutral spine. Tilt your pelvis to the 12 o'clock position. Find that contraction. Scoop to pillow. And then reach off the center line, left and right. And feel that nice bit of shaping work through the obliques. Gives you that nice little V definition through the core. I'm going to call that 7, 6. Keep holding that contraction. 4, 3, 2, last one. Peel softly back down to the mat. We're going to play up a little tailbone lift for the next one, and you can either keep the arms long and lengthened at your side, or you can tuck your hands, palms down underneath your bottom, holding that little diamond frame of support. Cross one leg in front of the other and find your 90 line, your halfway mark. Begin your movement just behind the 90 line. Pull your toes through the 90 line, piking your tailbone just off the mat, and come back to your start position. We're going to shoot for 5 repetitions on each side. Going to call that 3, 2, last one. You're going to change the cross of your legs, leading with the opposite leg in front. Begin your movement behind the 90 line. Draw your legs through the 90 line. Pretend that your toes are on a marionette string and somebody's just giving them a light tug towards the ceiling. You should feel a nice little burn south of your belly button in that lower abdominal pooch or pouch area of the belly. Let's do 2 more. As you complete your last one, you're going to bend the knees at 90 into a tabletop position, and we're going to work a reverse double straight leg stretch. You're going to brace into your feet and push the feet away as if you were resisting the wall, and then cycle up down to the ceiling, bend down and cycle back out. So begin in table, push the legs away, draw the feet up to the ceiling, and then bend through the knees, cycling back to your start position. I want you to feel your inner thighs working, and I want you to feel your core working. Arms are either long and lengthened at your side or tuck them underneath your bottom for support. Make sure you're not tensing through the jaw or the chin. Keep them soft and relax. I'm going to call that 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Come back to your 90 position and we'll take it to a traditional straight, double straight leg stretch. Drop the legs down to about 75, bend the knees, cycle back in and push back up to the ceiling. Essentially, you're working the same movement, but working in the opposite direction now. If you're nice and strong through the belly and you've got no lower back issues, you can drop those legs way down, hovering just off the floor before you bend the knees to cycle back up towards the ceiling. See what works for you today. Make sure that you're using your inner thighs. Make sure that you're feeling a fair amount of work in the lower belly area and that you're not transferring that weight to your back. If you are feeling the back, make your movement smaller, playing between 90 and about 75, so that it's just the belly that's working and not your back. Let's do 3 more. And then we'll change our orientation on the mat and we'll ease our way onto the side. As you complete the last one, bend the knees, connect the soles of your feet and roll over onto, actually let's rock up into a seated position. Sit up nice and tall with your bum bones equally weighted into the mat, and then bend the knees, connecting the soles of the feet to the mat and brace softly against your shins. Try not to round out. So give me a long line through the spine, trying to stack your shoulders over your hips. You're going to extend the right leg, bracing softly into the shin, and then pull it back up to your start position. You're just going to alternate side to side, leaning slightly forward, and I want you to feel that connection between your inner thighs and your core as you push the leg away and then drag it back to its start position. I'm going to call that 5, 4, 2, last one. You're going to sit up nice and tall, extending both legs away from you, and you're going to bum walk 5 little walks forward and 5 little walks backward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to your original seat position, bending the knees and connecting the soles of the feet. This time, extend both legs away together and then drag them up, bending and extending, maybe dipping slightly off the center line. And I want you to feel those inner thighs and the core as you drag the heels away. Pull up, pretend that you're pulling up a zip along the inner thighs and the lower abs to pull the feet back towards your bum line. 4, 3, 2. You're going to fold softly forward on your last one and just hold the stretch. Maybe hands gently on your shins, or maybe fingertips on the floor, or maybe reaching for the toes or the undercarriage of your foot. And just take a little time out here, relaxing your lower back, but keeping that soft contraction in the core. Peel up into a high seated frame. Make sure that you're not leaning off your tailbone. So move the bum flesh out the way and make sure that you're sitting up nice and high on the bum bones. Sit up nice and tall. Feet just inside of hip width distance apart, or you can clip them together. Extend the arms out in front and reach with your fingertips for the wall in front of you. You're going to lift and lower the right leg 10 times. Don't drive from the foot. Pull up from the kneecap along the quad and the inner thigh and the lower abs, almost as if you were pulling on a piece of string to make that movement happen. 10 lifts. I'm going to call that 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold high for 10, 8, 6. Keep that high seat. Keep pulling up along the inner thighs and the core. Relax the leg down. Relax the arms down. Shake it out. We're going to rinse and repeat on the other side. Find your frame. Begin lifting and lowering on the left. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, end high, hold, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Last one, fold forward one last time, draping around the toes or on the shins or fingertips on the floor. Relax your lower back, keep that soft contraction. So think of gently pulling up from the pubis towards your belly button, drawing down from your sternum towards the belly button, and then feeding or tucking in from the side so that everything's pulling, converging in towards your belly button. Peel back up into a seated frame and flip over onto your side. We're going to set up a little diamond clam. Bend the arm that's closest to the mat. Make sure that the arm is not too far away from your body line. So stack the elbow underneath your armpit and don't collapse your chest and your rib cage. Pretend that you've got a beach ball underneath the ribs that's keeping the rib cage nice and high. Bend your knees, stack them, and line up your heels with an extension of your back line. Tuck the top hand behind your head in a surrender-like fashion. Don't allow the elbow to collapse when we start playing. Keep the elbow tracking up nice and high towards the ceiling and keep the rib cage nice and high. Don't collapse. All right. We're going to lift the bottom hip off the mat, and at the same time, you're going to open the knees so you've got a diamond frame between the legs, and then peel back down to your start position. Open, lift, down and close. Keep that top elbow looking up towards the ceiling. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're going to stay high. Extend the top arm up and hold. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Take the top arm, bring it as close to your ear as you can, reaching for the wall in front. Hold. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Peel back down to your start position and give yourself a longer prop on the bottom arm. Arm long and extended. Bend the knee that's closest to the floor, setting up a gate line or a modified side plank with the closest leg bent and the other leg extended, tucking the top arm behind your head or maybe dropping it to your hip if you prefer. Bring the top leg up in line with your hip. Bend the knee as if you wanted to tap your hip and then extend. Bend and extend. Keep that top elbow looking up to the ceiling. 8. Feel that contraction in your core as you draw the knee in towards your belly button. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that line and extend the top arm up so that you've got a T arm through the arms. Keep reaching along and lengthen for the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2. Tuck back into your surrender position. Pull the leg towards the midline and draw back to your start position. Pretend that you're tugging on a little piece of string through the belly button to draw the leg up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This time, draw the leg just behind and back to your start position. So you should be feeling a nice little bit of work into the glutes at the same time that you're working core. Keep your core engaged. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Float down. Take a little overhead stretch, reaching fingertip to toe. And then effect a little switcheroo on the mat and set yourself up to rinse and repeat on the other side. Find your diamond clam line. Make sure that the arm is not too far away. Tuck it underneath you, ribs up nice and high. Tuck the top hand behind your head. You're going to open and close through the knees as you lift the bottom hip and bum off the mat, piking up towards the ceiling and coming back to your start position. 5, 4, 3. You're going to end high on your last one and hold top arm up to the ceiling. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Bring the top arm as close to your ear as you can and hold. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Float back down and give yourself a larger prop on the bottom arm, coming into a side plank or a lifted gate line. Top hand tucked behind your head. Float the leg up to 90. Bend the knee in towards your belly button and extend. Bend, extend. Bend, extend. 7, 6. Look for that contraction as the knee comes in towards the belly button. 3, 2. Last one. Hold your side plank. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Extend. Hold. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Tuck that hand behind your head and start thinking of pulling the whole leg in towards the belly button and back to your start position. Top hand behind your head or maybe on the hip bone if you prefer. At any time, rest it out if you need to. 3, 2. We're going to take the leg pull in the opposite direction, tucking behind your hip line and then back to start. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last 2. Then you're going to find your way into an easy sit, sitting cross-legged with one leg tucked in front of the other. I'm leading with my left leg in front and then we'll change it up on round 2. Sit up nice and tall. Place the left fingertips or palm on the mat. Run the hand away from you as you take a gentle overhead arcing stretch on the opposite side, reaching with your fingertips as if you wanted to tap the wall. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, slide, arc, and stretch on the opposite side. Don't collapse your ribs. Think of opening up your ribs towards the ceiling, almost thinking of peeking around your armpit towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. Take a big breath in. Use opposite hand to knee. Push the knee away and come into a twist hold, placing the other fingertips gently on the mat behind you for support, keeping your spine as long and lengthened as you can manage. Keep pushing away, opening up gently through the groin. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, push and resist, twisting in the opposite direction. Bum bones equally weighted, spine nice and long, pulling the belly button into center and growing your spine towards the ceiling. Come back to center and brace your hands on the top leg, maybe one hand holding on the shin and the other hand holding on the foot. Start in neutral with your spine nice and long. We're going to work a seated cat-cow, working not only back but core at the same time. You're going to pull your front leg in towards your chest as you bump through the neutral line, arcing through the spine, making your elbows heavy to the floor, opening up your chest, and then exhaling to round out in a cat shape. Feel that contraction through your core, so pulling up from the pubis, tucking down from the sternum, and feeding in from the sides. You're going to play with that movement dynamically, inhaling for, let's say, at least 5 or 6 counts, and then exhaling for 10 or 12 counts. Inhale. Exhale. Looking for that work through the core. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 12 as you round up. Let's do one more. Then sit up nice and tall with a long spine and float your hands to prayer in front of your heart. We're going to work a reverse cycle, pushing with enough pressure so that you can feel your arms, chest, upper back, shoulders are all connected. Keep pushing into the palms as you float your hands overhead and then circle them around to come back to your start position. Experiment with your inhalations and your exhalations, but sync them to your movement and make sure that you keep the breath flowing. Let's do 2 more. Bring both hands behind your hips, almost squeezing the 2 shoulder blades together, arcing slightly through the spine, looking up to the ceiling and stretching into the lower belly area. Then ease your way back to center and change the cross of your legs. Big breath in, sit up nice and tall. Make sure that you're not collapsing into the mat. So I almost want you to think of pushing off the bum bones and trying to grow through the trunk as if somebody was pulling your shoulder blades and trying to lift your whole trunk towards the ceiling. Place your right palm or fingertips on the mat. Bend through the elbow. The elbow does not need to touch the floor, but just soften through the shoulder and the elbow, and then arc and frame on the other side and hold, reaching with your fingertips for the wall at the opposite end of the room. Inhale, come back to center, and take it gently to the other side. Make sure that you're not collapsing through your chest. So I want you to rotate, peek out from underneath your armpit, bring the rib cage up towards the ceiling as you're arcing and framing. Ease your way back to neutral. Big breath in, drop the shoulders away from your ears. Take a twist to the right. Opposite hand to knee, push the knee away. Open up through the inner thighs. Make both kneecaps heavy to the floor, tucking your heels in as close towards the perineum as you can, anchoring through both bum bones equally and lengthening through your spine. Inhale to come back and exhale to take the twist in the opposite direction. Keep pushing away with that hand so that you're opening and stretching through the inner thighs and the groin. Keep your belly button firmly pulled into center and almost think of that slight contraction working the whole time. So pulling up from the pubis and tucking down from the sternum. Ease your way back to the midway. Find your grasp on the lead leg. Hug or pull that thigh in towards your pelvic area as you drop the elbows away from your ears and the shoulders away from your ears, arcing through the spine and opening through the chest. And then on an exhale, round up. Look for that contraction through your core. So pull up from the pubis, tuck down from the sternum, pull in from the sides. Then find a rhythm of your own. Inhale, let's say, for 5 counts. And maybe exhale for 10. If that feels too easy, maybe try 6 to 12 on the next round. Look for that work in your core, stretching the lower belly and then contracting it as you round out. Let's do 2 more. Float back to a neutral spine position. Make sure that your bum bones are equally weighted. Pull those shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, but don't bunch them by your ears. So even though your whole trunk is being pulled up to the ceiling, you're softening your shoulders away from your ears and you're bringing your hands to active prayer. Push into those hands. Peel up along the center line, circle the arms overhead, and then come back to your start position, working a reverse cycle. Playing with your inhalations and your exhalations, wherever you decide to play, make sure that you're keeping the breath flowing. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Float your hands back to heart center and end of your practice for today. Thank you so much for coming out and playing with me today. Hope you enjoyed today's class. Give me a thumbs up. Remember to share your comments and your feedback with me, either using the box below or pop me a WhatsApp or an email. I shall see you all for yoga on the mat tomorrow. Till then, keep it light.